Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's up, YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. So how good is Darius Slayton? Is Darius Slayton the #1 receiver? Is he a good #1 receiver? Is he, going to be top 10 by the end of the year? I don't necessarily know yet, but I'm going to look into what he's done so far, and you guys can make your own decision about that. Before I get into this, though, let me know, will Darius Slayton be our #1 receiver next year? If we have the chance to go out and draft a receiver or sign one, will he still be our #1 target and the best receiver on our team week 1 next year? Go ahead and type that in the comments, and I'll get right back to you. So Darius Slayton got drafted last year in the 5th round. Now, I thought that he would be a speed demon on the sidelines. I thought that he would be just a deep threat, who would catch some passes, and he would be a supplement to Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, Golden Tate, those guys. But he's quickly becoming our best receiver. He's running slants. He's running comebacks, which, he's taking advantage of all the fast receiver routes. He's got to get better, obviously, on, the day-to-day route running and getting open, every play. But as far as those core routes for speed, deep receivers, he's running the posts, he's running the streaks, comebacks, and the slants. So far, so good, and people have made careers from those. So like I said, I was skeptical that he would be able to be an every down receiver, someone that you look to, throughout the entire game. I think he had 9 catches on Monday, so that was pretty good to see. He's had now 3 games where he's had 2 touchdowns, and he's a big physical receiver. He's listed at 6'1". He used to be listed at 6'2". He's a physical receiver. He's strong. He's fast. I mean, he's a 4.3 guy. People forget that. He ran a 4.3, and he fights for every ball. He goes up and gets the ball, and that's something that I like about him. And he can do that pretty much better than everyone else on our team. Evan Ingram can go up and get the ball, but he's up and down, and he might not even be in the game. And an interesting stat that has come out about Darius Slayton is that he leads the league in touchdowns since I think like week 4 or week 5 of last year with 10 touchdowns. He was tied with somebody else, but he leads the league in touchdowns at this point. And I thought that was really interesting, so it made me look deeper into the stats. And a lot of people say, should we trade for Odell Beckham? I'll take Odell back if it's with less drama, if Joe Judge can keep him in check. We already paid him most of his contract, so it's not really a money thing. And Allen Robinson, we'd have to pay him. Juju, we'd have to pay him, and I don't really want a slot receiver to get paid that much. We've already paid him, and if Joe Judge will be able to coach this guy and keep him from causing mayhem in the locker room and just mayhem in the media, then I'd take Odell back. Slayton has pretty much matched Odell in production since he's been on the Browns. And I'll go over this. Darius Slayton, since he came in as a Giants receiver, not even starting, but since he was a Giants receiver in week 3. So I'm going to be looking down because I'm going to be reading these stats off. 93 targets, 54 catches, 58 catch percentage, yards per game at 15.59, yards, 842 yards, 56 yards per game, and 10 touchdowns. Odell, 122 targets, 64 catches, 52 catch percentage, 13 yards per game, 828 yards, 55 yards per game. So that's 1 yard less than Slayton. And then 3 touchdowns. Now, I'm not including this past game, so that changes it a little bit, but you get the point. Their stats are very similar, and Odell has about 30 more targets. If anybody considers Odell the #1 receiver, someone who's getting 122 targets in a span of 15 games, then he has comparable numbers to Darius Slayton. Now, obviously, 15 games and 820-something yards or 840 yards, that's not that impressive. We'd obviously like to see him take that step forward and be someone who can get you 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, maybe even more yards. I think that's down the road for him because he's not a complete receiver yet as far as a complete route runner. But you want him to be a threat to get that many yards every year if you want him to be your #1 receiver in the NFL. If not, you're going to have to get another 1A, 1B kind of receiver to put across from him And that's fine, because I think that Slayton is a guy who's a 1,000-yard receiver at this point. Is Darius Slayton the number one receiver? I think he is. I think that he's a good receiver. I think that we still need some people around him. We need someone else who can get down the field. But the thing is, he hasn't been garnering that much attention. They interviewed him and he said he doesn't really notice too much attention going towards him. And if they start to double team him and he starts to become that receiving threat, sure, his numbers may drop. He may even be neutralized. But Saquon Barkley will have some more running lanes because they'll be worried about a receiver going down the field. I mean, Sterling Shepard will have more lanes underneath. Evan Ingram will have more room underneath. So that works. And if he can keep on having these games where he's going over 100 yards and getting multiple touchdowns, then that's only going to make our team this much better. But you guys let me know what you think about Darius Slayton and how he's come along so far. If you made it this deep into the video, definitely hit that subscribe button. I think Darius Slayton is going to be a Giant for a long time. He's not a me guy. Who knows, maybe if he has a Pro Bowl this year, Pro Bowl season, maybe that changes. But for now, he's not a me guy. And I think he fits well with the Giants. So he has the potential to be that guy who's here forever. And I'm excited for it. But until next time, it's Diggy546, and I'm out.